Hey everybody, how's it going? In today's video, we'll have a look at a limited series that is featuring this R3 Spec Lamborghini Huracán. Of course, we're talking about the Season 3 Round 5. This is the very final special event of the round. And in terms of the car that is up for grabs here, right? It's worth some 550 gold if you're to buy it outright. It is featured in a couple of different bonus series, one of which features other cars. Lamborghini Love Letter, to be exact, that you can find in Season 1 of the of the Road Collection. There you go. So you can get showcase discount, like 20% off if you don't end up winning it. Then it'll cost you some 440 gold, but that is a significantly higher amount than if you are to actually put on upgrades to meet the PR requirement to complete this event. So if you can afford upgrades, once again, it's better to win the car through these events, right? So, all right. So for total rewards here, we got the car itself, as I said, which is worth some 550 gold, featured in 2 different bonus series, one of which, by the way, is a single car bonus series, meaning this is the only car that you race in the series. So obviously, the rewards are kind of completely, I guess, directly linked to the ownership of this car. So that is what is this series called? It's like a World Series, Lamborghini Huracán R3 Spec World Series. And there's some 74 gold to be won. Now, with the PR that you meet here, you should be able to, from this limited series, you should be able to complete 75% completion there, which means you should be able to pick up some, I want to say 43 gold there. That's the up to 75% completion in the series. So that brings sort of a total rewards that you're actually getting up to like closer to like 81 gold here, right? And of course there's victory points, 5,250 victory points. So depending on how far along you are in your round of progress, current round, that may also result in some additional gold reward. And the fact that the other bonus series, Lamborghini Love Letter, although this car is not the top dog in that series, you should be able to go, enough to be able to win some gold there. So now speaking of amount of gold that you have to, that's what you can earn, right? Now what you have to spend to meet the PR requirement of 77.8, you will have to end up spending 243 gold to meet the PR requirement. That is the cheapest way you can get it. I'll talk about the upgrade tree in a second once we head into the series, but that's just the sheer number, right? And then yeah, it's a 7-day event, by the way. And what else do you need to know? Oh, there's a 24 hours of instant service and upgrade available once you start the series. As you can see, yep, 7 days to complete it. And so we've had a couple of other instances of like the limited series featuring this car in the past. So this is actually a 3rd installment, as far as I can remember, of limited series featuring this car for us to win this car. And yeah, so yeah, there's something to be said about. I'll have the link to prior instances of the limited series playthrough in the description box below. So you guys, if you for whatever reason want to check out the old videos for, I don't know, posterity's sake, feel free to check them out. Anyway, what do we have here? Lamborghini Huracán R3 Spec Limited Series. Earn a Lamborghini Huracán R3 Spec by 100% completing this special limited series. Time to push the Huracán to its limits. All right. So here's the reward breakdown. So as I said, the total reward was 40 gold and some 250 victory points. That's typical of limited series, right? And some 100,000 racing dollars, plus the car if you don't own it already. So anyway, first 25% completion gets you 750 victory points, 5 gold, 10,000 racing dollars, and in order to reach that, you need to complete tier 4. And in this limited series, tier 4 has a PR requirement of 69. So that's what you're gonna need. And 50% completion gets you additional 1,000 victory points, 10 gold, 15,000 racing dollars. And in order to do that, you need to get up to tier 8. You don't have to complete the tier 8, but you need to get up to tier 8, meaning you need to get past tier 7, which has the PR requirement of 71.5. And the 75% completion rewards include 1,500 victory points, 10 gold, and 30,000 racing dollars. And PR requirement for that, you need to reach tier 12. So you have to get past tier 11, which requires PR 74.5. And of course, 100% completion earned you the remaining 2,000 victory points, 15 gold, 45,000 racing dollars, plus, of course, the car itself if you don't own it already. And that requires PR 77.8. All right. So those are the rewards available in this series. And here, let's check into the series itself and possibly do some racing as well. All right, so anything that you do to the car, whether you win it or not, will stay on the car. So upgrades, customization. This car, I don't think there's customization available if I remember correctly. And no, there is no principal XP or driver XP or tuning setups. None of that exists on this. Now, even though I don't own this car is fully maxed out because in the past, we had a way of taking advantage of upgrade discount if it was featured in weekly time trial or online multiplier event as a loaner. Sometimes they would offer the upgrade discount on the loaner car. So, when I was given the opportunity to upgrade the car, I went ahead and did it, even though I didn't own the car. But hey, this is a great opportunity to actually go ahead and win the car without adding on any additional, accruing any more additional cost on my end, right? So there it is, 24 hours more or less, instant service available. Now, obviously, your car may not be fully upgraded. In fact, if you're new to the game, your car would have 0 upgrade. So let's talk about the upgrade tree of reaching the PR requirement of 77.8. So total of 28 upgrades available on this car, mostly on the engine. As you can see, there's 7 upgrades available on the engine. Now you only need to get 3. In fact, you need to get 3 upgrades across the board, plus the body, which you need to max out up to 5, right? So it's going to be 3, 3, 5, 3, 3, 3, 3, right? So that's the upgrade tree you're going to need to meet the PR requirement for this limited series for the cost of 243 gold and like 1.8 million racing dollars. Anyway, and if you want to go ahead and try to 100% complete the bonus series, Lamborghini Huracán R3 Spec World Series, then essentially you need to max out the engine. So that means you have to spend additional 235 gold, right? And if you are like me and want to get your car fully upgraded, Don't do it unless they offer you upgrade discount. Just wait, right? You don't need to fully max out to complete the bonus series or this series, right? To win the car. But if you decide to go ahead and fully max out this car, actually completing the bonus series and maxing out car, there's only 65 gold difference, because only category then you have left to upgrade would be that final gold upgrade on drivetrain, which costs you 65 gold. So at that point, I don't know, you're pretty close to maxing out, so perhaps it's worthwhile just going ahead and going all the way. All right, so yeah, so that's that. And spec wise, pretty good top speed, right? 410 kph for top speed, 2.5 seconds for acceleration. That's pretty quick. Braking distance up 23.5 meters. That's also pretty decent. 1.46 G for the grip. So yeah, that R3 spec is kind of not what's in the real world, obviously. It's the game spec, basically, right? So the usual, the mid-mount engine with the four-wheel drive, right? The Lamborghinis, the wedges. So anyway, enough of me yapping here. Let's go ahead and do some racing. We'll start with the elimination. All right, club circuit. Doesn't really matter, obviously, because we have to survive. Don't get eliminated. And the yellow livery that you see in this grid. Now, you cannot have that livery unless you win some, I want to say they are like special, like victory coins or something like that, that is available in the bonus series this car is featured in. Not the Lamborghini Love Letter bonus series, that's just a regular bonus series, but the other R3 spec World Series bonus series has this at this point very unique reward called like a victory coins or something along that line. It's been a long time since I've actually raced any of those, but it's what they used to have on old NASCAR series before they separated it out to motorsport sections. So back in the day, they all belonged in one gigantic category called career. I know this is like a real Racing 3 history lesson here. But anyway, it's just, the fact that that legacy series has survived and is still in the game is just fascinating, and along with the format that they used. Anyway, so it's totally randomized. So sometimes you may have to run the same race multiple times because there are like 3 different levels of coins that the game essentially pays out. And if you don't get the right colored one, then you have to do it again, right? Or sometimes it may not give you any coins at all. And generally speaking, winning the race usually will give you what you need, but sometimes you will win a coin even if you don't win a race, just for, I guess, participation trophy, right? So yeah, once I win this car through this series, I'll probably make a playthrough of that series and we'll discuss a little bit more in depth once we get there. But that's where you can win that alternative yellow livery, available only if you run through that bonus series. Anyway, in the meanwhile, there we go. We're through the first race with gold trophy number 1. So 1 down, 44 more to go here. But at least we have 24 hours of instant service, which is super handy compared to the 3 hours, right? All right. There we go. double service bar bonus is certainly handy. All right. Although during, instant service, it becomes somewhat irrelevant. On to event number 2. It's going to be autocross at Melbourne. 32 seconds and change for the target time. Let's try this in maybe in the cockpit view. Looks like the regular Huracán because, it's just a sort of a Real Racing 3 in-game version of, or in-game specific rendition of the car. So yeah, a little slippery when it comes down to the handling, as most Huracans tend to be. Yeah, I mean, this one better than the non-R3 spec of Huracán, right? However, when it comes down to best Huracán, in fact, I would say possibly, arguably, the best Lamborghini, I would say, is the car that is currently offered with a discount offer this week. We're talking about Huracán Performante. That is by far the best Lambo in the game, if you ask me. The spec is, the numbers totally undersell the car. That car is so much better than the numbers. It handles beautifully. It's quick and nimble. Yeah, that car's a lot of fun to race. Talk about punching above its weight. That is the Huracán Performante. I don't know how that ended up getting such a low PR rating, but yeah, that is one Lambo to own if you have to own only one. All right. Let's see. The Cup. All right. Did it say East? I don't think it said the Grand Prix, right? Tier 1? Grand Prix would be very, very long. And for this car, I don't feel like it deserves something that long in Tier 1. And, yep, as expected, it's the East Circuit. There we go. And a lot of skidding. All right. Nice and easy does it for Tier 1. Minute 28 seconds and change. All right. Some 900 fame points for that effort. And best lap 40 seconds. All right, just a handful of service bars taken out for those 2 laps. Gold trophy number 3 wraps up Tier 1, unlocks Tier 2 plus 4,000 racing dollar bonus. All right, so there you have it for Tier 1 with some introduction on this limited series. So stay tuned for Tier 2 playthrough coming right up. See you there.